All right. We are live, so we're gonna let a few folks go ahead and make their way in.
Who else said they
Um,
coming?
I would be surprised if Shelton didn't pop up. So he normally jumps on here if he saw it. I'm gonna text him and see.
Shit, it's
Uh,
still right there. You put the link right there.
yeah, that's true. That is true. What up, everybody? Lamar Baller, High Life 9719, Smitty 753. Hey, Black Soap with the script. Hey, y'all, I ain't gonna lie. If I look like I'm sweating, it ain't from the game. It's probably from that liquor and shit I was drinking over there.
You was doing dark liquor.
Yeah,
I already
yeah.
know. Yeah, I feel like any black Super Bowl party is always dark liquor heavy.
Yep. Hey, Oblivion. Hey, chill out, man. On the headset, bro. The game headset. Yep. But I want to give folks a few time, but I'm gonna hit Shelton see if he pop up. But we got the floor to ourselves. You know, but Purdy gonna cry in the car. Hey, that's funny. All right, man. Yeah, they running in, man. So obviously, of course, it's late. So we're gonna just go ahead and jump right into it. So I'm gonna kick us off. This is the place where sports opinions collide. Dead in sports. I'm your host, Kenneth B. and I got Nick here with me reacting to the Super Bowl win by the Kansas City Chiefs and OT 25-22 with a pretty intense, dramatic drive that featured a 4th and 1. And shit, was it two fourth downs on that drive?
It was. I think it was two fourth downs on that drive. I know definitely
Yeah,
the one where he scrambled.
I think that may have been
No, no,
third and
it was
like,
31. It was 31,
okay,
and
yeah,
he
yeah.
scrambled. I thought he was gonna take it to the house.
I,
The way,
I did
yeah,
too, bro.
I thought he was gonna take it to the house.
Yeah.
Fred Warner stopped one of those screens that he threw to Pacheco. That was like it
hmm
was if he didn't tackle him there, he was gonna take it to the house. But yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. When I was yelling at the TV and I was like, oh, that's the game, because I thought he was going in, but yeah, nah, man, I picked the 49ers to win. I There was a lot of people leaning Kansas City, bro. Oh shit, look at this dude, bro.
Who was it? FIFO.
FIFO.
Hell
I
yeah.
already know he. I already know he was coming in.
It was a lot of people leaning Kansas City. And one of the things, and I went with Niners. It just felt like it was going to be that thing. But of course, if anybody could do it, this was the guy. And I was y'all saw me in the chat. I was rooting for the Chiefs. But it was a hell of a game, bro. Like it was ugly in that first half, though.
It
It was
was. It
real ugly.
was. But it was still a good game though. The reason why I said Brock Purdy got a lot of respect from me, sometimes in these situations, and we saw him throughout the playoffs where it felt like the game was a little bit too big, and then he settled down, and obviously he made clutch plays down the stretch. But in this one, it seemed like he was ready for the moment from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And he really outplayed Mahomes in a good bit of that first half. And I think Kyle Shanahan had a really great game plan as well. And the defense, I think to me, that was the biggest difference in that first half for the 49ers. They came out, bro, and them boys was on fire. Them boys was like, we not losing this. Unfortunately, Dre Greenlaw had that Achilles injury. Okay. What's up, my boy?
He gonna be crying like Purdy right now. That's what he sound like.
Yeah, losing Greenlaw hurt. Debo came back.
Kittle got hurt too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But that
yeah.
was toward the end though. I think the Greenlaw injury hurt him a little bit more. But again, look, man, the reason why I picked Kansas City was for uh, Pat Mahomes and them boys, man. Like when you got Pat Mahomes, it's like how you gonna lose? How you gonna lose? He's
We
so
almost saw how.
They are I'm about to say they was close to losing, bro. I didn't hear you in the chat until literally the last 2 minutes.
well, because Cause man, I just wanted to enjoy the game. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to enjoy the game, take my victory shot. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Hey, I only called one incorrect game, all playoffs, all
I'm
playoffs, one incorrect.
I'm more pissed, bro. I had a parlay that was gonna give me at least close to a band for just throwing $30 in if Kelsey got a TD. So that last
Mm.
pass that he threw him in the fourth for the game winner, I was like,
Yeah, I was at my in laws, and yeah, he one of the guys that they were betting too, and I think he hit for almost 1,000, bro. He was like, if I win again, drinks on me. So shit, I was like, shit, well, let's go then. But
exactly.
yeah, and there was the situations where I was like, especially like the first half, if Kansas City get the field goal, he would win, and I'm like, man, I don't want them to get the field goal, nigga, I want them to score. But it didn't matter at the end of the day. But um, one of the things that I was really, I figured Kansas City defense was going to play well. It definitely held up for a good part of that game. Purdy was like 8 or 10, Patrick Mahomes like 4 or 5, 6 or 7, 6 or 7 or something like that. To start out. Um, but for the most part, once they started to apply like real pressure on Purdy, he started to kind of miss some throws and couldn't get some throws off, and he started missing, and their offense just went stagnant.
It was to me, it was a lot of this is why you don't have statue quarterbacks in the league no more. Because you see that, and even though I'm not gonna say Purdy's a typical statue quarterback, but in this game he was, because he wasn't really scrambling like that to get him extra yards or to make extra plays. I mean, shout out to the
He tried,
Guys to say shout out to Kansas City defense. I mean, Steve
yeah.
Spagnuolo called a great game, but he kept them boxed in. But if you look at the other side with Patty, it was like if Patty didn't use his legs at all, or if he was limited with his legs, bro, that game is over. That game is
I
literally over. So it's just like it shows you like you see why he drafted Trey Lance. He was trying to get somebody who can be a physical specimen, kind of like what Patty did. But all he got is Brock, and this is why it's just like you.
But
How many times you gonna keep on relying
but
upon
look,
this dude to
where
do shit?
where where did Brock? Well, first of all, Patty was locked down and scrambling. He couldn't scramble until the end, and he started to kind of make plays. And some of those were called. There was a read call, a read option that was called, and then there was another one where the 3rd and 1. I think that was
That
all
was
him.
all him. That was all him.
Yeah. But for the most part, he won because they ran some sort of contained defense, and there was a couple of plays where the defensive tackle would go outside, and then he would
Well,
swim inside
for me,
to shut away the middle. Perfect.
I mean, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I had my parlays was like, how many times is Patty gonna rush it? It was over under 4, and he was rushing a lot of the time. Not even like design runs, but it was just more like, let me get this 3 yards over here, let me go out of bounds, let me move up over here, let me get this 2 yards. Even that what did he mess up at? Was it towards the end of the half, or
but Nick,
where he
Brock
came
Purdy
where
did.
he
But Brock Purdy did a lot of the same things. The reason why they took Trey Lance was to add an additional wrinkle to the offense. Obviously, we see all of the motion. Sometimes it looks like a run, sometimes it's a screen, sometimes it's a throw behind the linebackers. The difference that Trey Lance would have made with his legs is that now it's an RPO quarterback option.
but that's
You know
what
what I'm saying?
that's what I'm saying. Like he's like Purdy's limited though.
But that's okay because we see that they don't actually run too many design runs for Mahomes. The only design run was on that 4th and 1.
But
You know what I'm saying?
but we know that Mahomes can run, and
Okay,
they literally saved those plays for the Super Bowl.
but we seen Purdy extend plays and do kind of sort of what Mahomes did.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that we're now how many Super Bowls that Kyle Shanahan has lost with this kind of style quarterback
This
play?
is this is second
This
Super
is his
Bowl.
second. This second that he lost with a statuesque QB.
But but
Purdy's way more
but
mobile than
thank
Jimmy
you
G.
But I'm saying
and
the
Matt
That's
Ryan.
the Detroit Lions.
just cause he's more mobile than Jimmy G don't mean he's really that mobile as a
I
QB.
think you
But
discredited
but
his
but but
mobility,
Nick,
bro.
we just saw it. We just saw this man outrun arguably the number one defense left in the league.
I'm saying
You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm saying that in the last 2 games, Purdy showed his legs, and it made it seem like he was gonna be like he's now moving into that part of his career where he's gonna be more agile, more mobile, where he can extend plays and stuff like that. Because that's how they won against the Lions, technically, because he was making plays like that.
mhm.
With it going against a top notch defense like this that the Kansas City played, shout out again, shout out to Steve Spagnuolo. They made him a statuesque QB,
Well,
and that's
so is
where you.
Mahomes.
No, but to me, Mahomes' talent It's that he's still able to do things that even when you try to take it away, he still made it happen.
Bro, they took it away for the whole game until damn near the fourth
No,
and
no, no. They
OT.
took it away until the second half. The second half is when he started running around more. I'm
Nah.
telling you,
I'm gonna rewatch the
I'm
game.
telling you, watch how many times Mahomes runs, and most of them are not designed. There was only probably maybe two at best. Mahomes runs because the pressure is right there, and he's just outrunning the defense. But he's
It's not
outrunning.
outrunning. First of all, you making it seem like the nigga is Lamar Jackson.
I'm not saying
Lamar
he's
Jackson.
Lamar, but he's
But what
not.
Mahomes did is honestly what Purdy did this game. And Purdy, look, Nick, there's two different types of mobile quarterbacks. You have the Lamar Jackson level, which you put who my guy from the Eagles. You know I'm bad with names and I've been taking shots.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, right? Like those guys get designed runs. If they get 70, 80 yards with design runs, it's like, bro, that's a whole nother
To me, to
it's
me,
a
to
whole,
me, to me, it's three tiers. It's not one. It's not an extreme. Yeah, I think you're going with extremes,
no, no,
saying
no,
it's
it is
Lamar.
three.
Yeah, to me, it's Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts. Then it's the Patrick Mahomes, the
100%.
Andrew Lucks, the Justin Herberts.
You
Yeah,
put Purdy in there
so
too.
no, Purdy's beneath that. Purdy's
Nah,
Yeah, I
like
don't
he's
think we need
not.
to
Purdy,
spend a
Purdy,
lot of
Purdy,
time on
Nah,
this,
Purdy,
but
Purdy is
Purdy's better
no
than Derek
Purdy.
Carr.
To me, Purdy's like a Joe Burrow. Yeah, like he's in that area where it's like he can move, but he's really not a mover. You know what I'm
it's
saying?
not part of his. It's not really a part of
Exactly.
his game. We saw the mobility in the first half when he rolled to the left and threw back across the field. That was called back on a holding. And other times he tried to scramble, but the Chiefs defense ran him down. But what I want to ask you is, in this game, in pivotal moments, where did Purdy fall short at?
To me, in this game, this game should have never been in his hands for where he had to make like legit plays. To me, they got away from using C-Mac more in the offensive scheme. Like the only touchdown that they scored came from
Trick play.
the trick play with using C-Mac as a weapon. Like that had nothing to do with Brock Purdy,
No,
and
I know that,
yeah,
but
that's
I'm
what I'm
not talking
saying.
about that part. I'm talking about the games on the line. You just had a horrible play go against you. You down 13-10, and I got to give Kyle Shanahan credit on that blitz where he called the timeout and then he called that drag route to extend the play. That was a hell of a coaching call because they went down and scored on that.
To
So what
me,
I'm asking you, like in the moments where they needed him to step up and make plays and not turn the ball over, not doing it, where did he fall short?
to me, it again. I keep on making me want to talk about. I don't really care about talk about Brock Purdy because to me, he made the play. He played the best that he could. He didn't turn the ball over. He made all the right reads that he could. But what I'm saying is that the play calling, which is why I'm going back to Kyle Shanahan, which is why I've always talked about Kyle Shanahan. There should have been more screens. It should have been some more screens to get players in space because that's what Kansas City did when 49ers kept on showing, putting up blitz or they'll do a seam route or a mesh route. To me, it was just more of like when we all knew Steve Spagnuolo was gonna call an all-out blitz and most of those third down plays where he would where they needed to get him off the field. To me, it's like Kyle Shanahan should have known that Steve Spagnuolo was going to throw a blitz. So maybe I'll throw a little wrinkle here and there and throw a screen. And it seemed like he just kept on trying to make Purdy just throw short routes. And that's how they kept on messing up
Are
or
you
not
talking
getting it
about when
down.
they had a chance to put the game away? Because they went back and forth with the Kansas City
No,
Chiefs.
they did. I'm just talking about those critical game like defining moments
Because the
because like as much as Purdy drove them down the field, they didn't score. They only got field goals. Like most of the time, they was in like the red zone and shit like that, or like close to it. And it's just kind of like
same
where
thing
you
happened to the Chiefs, bro. They weren't scoring in the red zone.
no, but they scored in the second half at least twice. They scored two touchdowns in the second half. The 49ers didn't after being up 10. You would have thought that they were going to be able to get more of a
I,
lead.
no, and I think that's where I think that's where Kyle Shanahan really lost a chance to really kind of build on the
He was
scoring.
throwing the ball a lot. He was throwing the ball a lot
Yeah,
with Purdy
yeah.
when he was up 10 points, and it wasn't until they scored that field goal where it was 10-3 that it was kind of like, all right, now we kind of like you could kind of feel that Kyle Shanahan he was more confident when he was up 10 than he was even when they were it was 10-6. 10-6 it felt like all right, eventually the
Nick,
Chiefs gonna score.
this is why I gotta disagree with you because, like I said in the chat, bro, I think Kyle Shanahan called a hell of a game. He did go a little bit away from the run game. However, it wasn't like he wasn't getting Christian McCaffrey the ball. It wasn't like he wasn't getting Debo the ball. He was getting his playmakers the ball where they needed to make plays. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, that is Kyle Shanahan's offense. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna use a whole bunch of misdirection. I'm gonna create the one-on-one matchups that I want with guys that I know are better than your guys, and he still did that. Not disagreeing that he went a little bit away from the run game because in that first opening drive, C-Mac touched the ball like 6, 7 straight times before the fumble.
My
You know,
my but my thing is then again, we just watched the game, so maybe on Tuesday I'll have more. I got more to tell you, but I'm just going off of what I remember from the game. The main thing I'm talking about is if Kyle Shanahan is this offensive genius that we keep talking about, how come he got shut out in that second half?
That defense was crazy, bro.
I mean, both sides have really top notch defenses, Ken. So we can't keep saying that like this is the fucking
I
Super
mean,
Bowl.
the Niners defense shut down Kansas Mahomes, and he's the best ever.
In the first half, but in the
So
second
what are we
half,
talking about?
I'm saying that was the first half. But in the second half, when you're already up by 10, how do you not score at least another touchdown? When
I,
you have opportunities just like Kansas City where you're in field goal range if not shorter like that's my point. It's just like I'm not gonna give you credit for being in a great game when you're supposed. This is the Super Bowl or bust for both teams. It was Super Bowl or bust this year, so
I
it's not
think
like so
that,
then there's little room for error. So that's all I'm talking about is if we.
yeah, and it
so do you
was.
feel like Kyle
But look
Shanahan
at who made
had a
the
lot of
error. It
errors?
was a special teams guy. That's not on Purdy or Shanahan that guy that hit that guy's foot. They've been talking about in the chat as well. That block kick, that extra point was
There
huge.
was hella there
Think
was
about that could have changed the outcome of this game significantly.
there was hella plays made in between before all that to where we talking about, and even then the 49ers went up again, wasn't it 16-13? Like it was like again, it was just more of like they had opportunities to where they could have scored touchdowns. This game was coming down to touchdowns. It literally came down to a touchdown. So
But
that's
there were
on.
two touchdowns taken off the board that goes to Chris Jones. There was one that Debo was wide open. If
And then
Chris Jones can get there,
but there's there
that's a
but
touchdown, bro, all day. You know
exact
that. Everybody know that.
yeah, there was two of them. There was two right, and then just
But
like there
Purdy
was
had no. Purdy couldn't control that.
just like Mahomes can control when Pacheco fumbled in the red zone where they could
I
have
know,
scored.
yeah. Or
So that
Christian
so
McCaffrey fumbling the ball.
Yeah, you shooting Purdy some bail right now?
No, not at all. Not at
Oh,
all.
okay.
But what the only so what you walked in, I was just asking, like when the game was on the line in moments,
Mhm.
like when they were down 13-10, I'm watching the game and I'm waiting for like I like there's a turnover coming. He's gonna make a bad play. But when that game turned and they went down 13-10, Purdy went on drives. Kyle Shanahan called plays that went on drives. They scored on these drives. They went that game at that point went back and
but
forth. And in OT, they probably could have scored again if it wasn't for that blitz that Spags called that forced him to throw the ball away.
let me ask you something, FIFO. With that roster going against that defense, are you surprised that they were shut out the second half? That they only scored what was it?
That's a little,
9 points off of field goals. Like, were you surprised that that offense with Kyle Shanahan and with Brock Purdy playing the way he has been all season, even up to this playoffs where he's
They
made
scored
two
a touchdown
comeback?
second half.
It's like, is that not disappointing? Is that not a disappointment for that second half?
To me, no, only because we're talking about a defense that boasts three pro bowlers and first team all pro players, right? McDuffie, you saw that play on Debo. You know what I'm saying? We saw the blitz that Spag called that got him off the field. You know what I'm saying? Who was that in Brock Purdy's face? It was McDuffie. So at the end of the day, Nick, we're talking about a great offense versus a great defense. And at the end of the day, it comes down to who makes more plays. And to me, hold on. And to me, the play calling on both sides was really great. I don't think that I can blame a coach.
I didn't like Andy Reid's play calling
I did
all
not either.
that whole game either.
Yeah,
I
nah.
disagree, FIFO. I think you can blame a coach, and the reason being is once again I told you in the first half, you dominated the first half on both sides of the line of scrimmage. You had every opportunity to take advantage. You only scored 10 points in the first half. You needed more points, and you had more opportunities to score more points in that first half. You didn't take advantage of. So it came down to a second half that we knew Patrick Mahomes was going to show up for.
And Patty threw a pick. Patty threw a pick too.
Nick, before you go, Shelton, have we not seen the Kansas City defense show up and hold every single team that they play to a very pedestrian first half?
But this the
Have you
best.
not seen that?
This the
No,
best
wait,
offense.
But that's
hold on,
on.
Nate. Hold on,
But
Nate.
but this is on Kyle Shanahan. There you go. So you can't say you can't blame him if you're saying that the Chiefs
What,
defense held it.
what I'm
So it
what
don't
I'm
matter
saying.
who did.
No, what I'm saying is that you got to give credit to the defense, and look, I'm saying. What I keep asking everybody in the chat is, what should have Cal Shanahan done different? Because the play calling was good.
You
The
said it yourself.
defense made the deep. He
You said it
okay.
yourself. He
If
went
we
away from
wanted,
the
but
line.
if
You
we
said it yourself.
wanted, but we're nitpicking at this point. We're not saying that it was a glaring like, oh
You,
man, like you like the play call was just horrible. The play call was
you,
not
I
horrible.
didn't. I didn't.
you got a nitpick though, FIFO. This is what you do. This is the last game of the
Thank you,
season.
Ken.
This is the
Thank you,
last
Ken.
game of the season.
We did, but
You gotta go by
we
what
did.
you
I
got.
did. I did this last because to keep the same energy. I did this last year. Remember when I kept on talking about Jalen Hurts played a phenomenal Super Bowl last year. Outside of him fumbling and giving up that 7 points, essentially lost them the game. And that's a nitpick because you could say like, yeah, I mean he fumbled, but he made up for it and he came back and played a great game. Yeah, but he still fumbled. That's my whole thing. It's just like we have to nitpick when we're talking about greatness or whatever, you
No,
know.
no. So to me, you nitpick when you get when you lead the division, you get a team that comes into your establishment and then blows you the hell out like the Cowboys and Packers. Then we nitpick. Then we say, you know what, this was horrible, that was horrible. It's been this all season, this, that, and the third. We nitpick that. When we're looking at this particular game, it was a pretty damn good game called by both sides of the ball.
But
So it was great by Cal Shanahan. It was great by Andy Reid. It was great by Spags, and it was great by I don't know the brother's name. I can't. You know me.
Steve Hicks.
Steve
Thank
Is
you.
that right? Yeah.
It
Or
was
Knicks or
it was a
whichever his name
great
is.
game. It came down to the players making plays.
And it came
Pat
down
Mahomes
to
made more
like,
plays than everybody.
yeah, and a guy in Patrick Mahomes that basically just took over the fucking game. Like, let's just call it what it is. Like probably any other quarterback in the league, they win that game.
100%.
And there was a play where I think Patrick Mahomes had a scramble, and I saw the look on his face. I was telling it to my in-laws. I was like, "Oh, there's that look." I said, "He
He not
got it
losing the
now. He's
game.
turned on." And he just
And
it was a
even
wrap for
even
them,
even
bro.
even when MVS tried to lose him the game by by going backwards, like it was like Patty was just like, what? Chris Jones was about to be like, bro, he
I
back,
thought
he ain't coming back to
he
Kansas
wasn't gonna
City.
make it
He
home.
wasn't coming back to Kansas City. They lose that
He
game.
was not gonna make it home.
No, but like this Black History Month, so we're gonna talk about Cal Shanahan on Tuesday. FIFA, I'm gonna have a whole dissertation. I'm gonna
Go
watch the
ahead.
tape. I'm gonna watch the tape and come back with a bunch of
It,
plays
it,
for you.
it don't matter. He
This is
lost.
about Patty Mahomes. Patty Mahomes is the fucking
100%.
GOAT. You bend the knee in Kansas City where you see him. Outside of playing Joe Burrow, I'm never going against Patty Mahomes.
Bro, he was on the sideline. It was so crazy because like he looked so unbothered. Like I'm watching him when the Niners were driving and they got that and McDuffie had that holding call. Like I was like, oh my
McDuffie was about to
god,
lose the
bro,
bro.
that's the game.
That's the
Yeah,
game.
but again, Spaz called a great fucking blitz, bro, to make like Purdy just throw the ball away to settle for the field goal. And it was like, all right, we done our job. Now, Patty, it's your turn.
When they got down to the red zone, I was like, C-Mac scores this touchdown. I think it's gonna be a wrap. I was like, he was gashing them. He was gashing them for yards, but they made those right. They were throwing. Didn't they? They threw the ball what twice after like running the ball once in that red zone that final drive.
Yeah, I think that was probably his best play calling because it's OT. These guys are just tired. I think Romo said we want to give the defense a chance to rest. It didn't help, you know, But nah, man, I think when I was just looking at it, like once that, honestly, I mean, luck happens. Sometimes you win the Super Bowl by luck, and that muffed punt. That's what really kind of got them back in the game because the Chiefs were in trouble. They couldn't
But
move the ball all game.
but that I mean, the Chiefs were in trouble and they were causing trouble for themselves with all those flags and
Bro,
penalties.
tell me
They were
about it.
shooting themselves. They looked like they were so undisciplined. And
Yeah.
I was gonna bring up Eric Bieniemy text in the chat, but I was like, let me see if they win this game first before I say all that.
You know what's crazy though? And I think what Pat Mahomes says, it was a microcosm of their entire season. No matter the defense that they played against, right? They played against the Ravens, which had a top tier defense. The way the 49ers came out this game, top tier, you know what I'm saying? It seems like throughout the course of the game, when it matters most, them boys just can't keep up with Patty. Patty's gonna gash you, whether that means with his head making an intelligent play with his arm or with his legs. We saw the one where Tony Romo was saying he was looking to throw the ball downfield. And he looked and he stepped up and he, checked it down to Pacheco and got 3-4 yards. Young Patty might have let that thing go. You know what I'm saying?
He,
So the
no,
maturation,
Young
the,
Patty was in this game though.
the maturation and the elevation of Pat Mahomes is honestly unfair for the rest of the league. And we talked about it all year, bro. This is the worst offense that Pat Mahomes has had. And for him to win a Super Bowl, now obviously this is the best defense that he's ever had. But for Pat Mahomes to be able to gash a defense that came out so on fire, and not just this defense, let's be honest, it's not like the Bills are chopped liver out there. Gash them boys. It's not like the Ravens are top liver. Gash them boys when it counts most. When it counts most. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter the scheme, this, that, the play call. Bro, if Pat Mahomes got the ball with 2 minutes or less and at least 2 timeouts, you're not going to win the game. What do I need? I need a field goal. I need a touchdown. You're not going to win the game. That's where Pat Mahomes, with this Super Bowl, has elevated to.
Well,
you're not going to beat him.
There's two things. One, if Travis Kelce retires this year or next year, that's gonna be an interesting version of the Chiefs. We'll see.
He coming back.
Yeah, he won't retire.
I don't know. He's about as old as Gronk right now, and Gronk been retired for a while, so his body breaking down. And over this in the regular season, he didn't look the same either until the postseason. But with Patty, to me, it was just like I just it's hard to game plan against him because what he does the best is that he draws the whole defense in on him and he does some real goofy shit and then he just like you can't scheme against him. Like even with Ken, I know me and you agreed upon like Andy Reid didn't call the greatest game either. And to me, it was like Andy Reid ain't gonna retire no time soon because he like this little nigga is cleaning up all my messes that I make in the games. Because as much as we want to praise all his play calling and shit, it's like that's mostly just Pat, and that's why to me he's the GOAT. He's gonna be the greatest that I've ever seen because this Super Bowl is like you mentioned, Ken. He put his whole team on his back. He's the best running back on the team. You know what I'm saying? Like he
but okay.
Pacheco fumbling the ball, bro. You ain't doing shit for me, bro.
He fumbled one time.
This the Super Bowl. This the Super Bowl, bro.
McCaffrey fumbled the ball
It's
too,
not
bro.
like
This the Super Bowl. This the
It's
Super
just
Bowl.
like Christian McCaffrey. It's not something that is.
He ain't C-Mac. He ain't C-Mac.
Patrick Mahomes led him in rushing.
But Pacheco's nice. He's a perfect complement to what they're trying to do.
Pacheco decent. You ain't fumbling the Super Bowl, hell no. Especially in the red
He's
zone.
nice. He's better than decent, bro. Let's be honest. He's better than decent.
All I'm saying is
Stop
that
being nitpicky, dog. Call it how you see it, bro.
Hey Sheldon, did he score a touchdown in this game?
No, he did
How many rushing yards did he have?
I think part of it was terrible because go ahead, Sheldon.
No, go ahead.
Because of those stupid ass runs that Andy Reid was calling, those almost like a trap play. It's like, what are you doing? They've been on that shit all game, bro.
And you're running the ball right into the gut of the best part of the defense.
Yes,
It's not you're not even going on the outside.
Hold on.
Well, when they tried to go outside, he fumbled.
Let me ask y'all something. Do you think that when you film study, you only watch your film? Or do you watch what other teams did and had success? And you utilize what they did within your offense to attack them? Did we not just see the Packers gash them straight up the middle? Did we not just witness that? Did we not just witness that front seven be very mediocre throughout the whole playoffs until the first half of this game? Did we not just witness that?
Can I answer that question, Vivo? What running backs are we talking about with those teams? Aaron Jones, Pacheco and Aaron Jones. Last time I checked, is he Aaron Jones level, Shelton? I don't think so. Jahmyr Gibbs, even as a rookie, I'll take Gibbs over Pacheco at this point in time. And he fumbled too. So it's like to me, it's
Right.
just like
But Montgomery was killing them.
Montgomery was killing, but they went away from the veteran to me.
Yeah, they went away from
I'll take Montgomery over Pacheco too. It's about a wash to me. So it's just like again, look at what Patty's roster is, and that's the whole point that I'm getting to is like you mentioned, Field. This is the worst his offense is gonna be. All he really had was Travis Kelce, bro. No one else. Rashid Rice was here and there, but all he really had was Travis Kelce, and Kelce showed up like he always do when it matters. But this is Pat's flu game, whatever the fuck you want to call it. This is the game that Pat shouldn't have won. He shouldn't have won this
No,
game.
Mm-hmm.
no, they had no business winning this game at all.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
And then the way they won it too, it seemed like that again. I mentioned in the chat, like the 49ers looked like they didn't know what the hell was going on that last play. It was just like everybody was standing around and it was like, oh shit, Cole Hardman's wide open and for the tutty.
Yeah, it was a good play design, and it just caught him flat-footed. I think one got the hand off, but I think it was funny, Nick, because I was watching it, and I don't think and right when because Pat is marching down the field, especially when they did get him on that 4th and 1. It was like Shanahan was like, all right, enough of this shit. God damn, what the fuck y'all out here doing? He called the time. I was like, shit.
He was
God damn, y'all, what the hell?
and you know what he did? He wanted to go right over to Steve Wilkes and cuss his ass out. He was like, nigga, you better win us this game. And yeah, I'm saying nigga on Black History Month.
But it was too late, man. He was dialed in, bro. He
Yeah.
has seen. It was the whole game. He has seen everything. Like once he started to pick up on what they were doing at that point, it was like, I got y'all, bro.
That's why
I,
that's why that's why it was so important that the 49ers take advantage of all those early opportunities that they had. Because once again, we knew this. We know the script. We know Patty gonna figure it out. We all do.
But
So in saying that, you have to take advantage, and like you said, Nick, you have to score touchdowns in those places. That first drive, that first drive was a killer. You can't, you saw they were moving the ball, they had control of the line of scrimmage, and then you lose the ball on the turnover. You can't stop that from happening, but that set the tone for the
not
game.
even that showed the first drive in the second half. Isn't that when Patty threw the pick?
Mm-hmm.
When they got the ball, and it was on their side of the 50, and they didn't come away with any points. There was no field goal, no nothing.
Right. Yeah. Plus,
How does that happen with those weapons and that brain that Kyle Shanahan has? Explain that to me, FIFO. You
The
asking all the
defense stepped
questions?
up. That Kansas City defense stepped up. Bro, that Kansas City defense really stepped the hell up.
they did FIFO, but one thing I do agree with Nick is he did not call a lot of screens.
no.
You
No,
know,
he didn't. He didn't.
and that's kind of what they do. Like the Chiefs, I mean, the Chiefs call a lot of screens too. But
They did. They
for
called like
different
five.
reasons.
They called at least five this game.
Yeah,
I
but
counted. It was at least 4 or 5 this game.
yeah, I don't know why he wasn't calling the screens like that before Debo got hurt,
Right.
but he just didn't.
But
So
you know what though, Ken? Again, if you watch the tape, they didn't call a lot of screens all playoffs. Now, I'm not going all the way back to the regular season. The brain, you know what I'm saying? I didn't erase that. We in playoff mode now. Watching the 49ers play playoff football, they didn't call a lot of screens. Now, they have a lot of pre-snap motion, again, to create the matchups that they want. But they didn't call a lot of screens all playoffs. So, but I don't disagree that we knew that Spags, what makes him who he is he gonna blitz, bro.
That's what
And
I'm
you gotta
saying.
use that leverage against them. And Kyle Shanahan didn't do that enough.
And that's my thing is
give you
like Kyle, you played him twice already. Well, this is your second time playing him in the Super Bowl, and then on top of that, he from going back to when he was with the Giants. That's his mo. And we talking about from 07, 08. Nigga, that's damn near 20 years, and this nigga's known for what? Blitzing. You would think with the 49ers have the best roster for screens. They got C-Mac and they got Debo.
And you've had 2 weeks to prepare for this. You knew what was coming. So you should have been so locked in and prepared for these blitzes. In the times they were coming, they would tip once again the same thing. Everybody knew what was happening. Romo was calling,
And they fell right into it.
Yeah, he was calling the whole game exactly what was going to happen. He was telling you. In Kyle Shanahan knew it too. So why were you not prepared for this? Why was it so hard to make plays? That one where McDuffie got right into the backfield should not have happened. He shouldn't have had opportunity for that to happen. So
yeah,
it was blown opportunities is the theme that San Francisco is going to go home and sleep and think about tonight. Every opportunity that they missed to take over this game and take advantage of.
I'm gonna rewatch the game and try to identify those moments outside of the extra point. That extra point, man. I think
Special teams been hurting them all playoffs because they almost lost that Packers game because of special teams.
I mean that is like we can look at the play call in the first half. We can look at missed opportunities in the first half. At the end of the day, they were up on the Chiefs like 3 times in the second half. And they took every single shot that the Chiefs had. I think they just in critical moments they got our coach, Because if you know Spaz is going to blitz Shelton, why the hell you don't have something prepared for that blitz
Mm-hmm.
instead of dropping back with Purdy, and trying to throw the ball? Like Spaz is coming, bro.
Yeah.
He has to.
Mm-hmm.
And that they got in there so fast on him, he had to throw the ball away, and you got to settle for a field goal.
Yeah, that touchdown to Debo was the game probably. As quiet as it's kept.
Chris Jones, bro.
100%.
I,
100%.
Chris Jones should be she should have got MVP for that game because
I,
he literally
yep.
said he took about 14, at least 14 points off the
I think
board.
he saved at least 2 touchdowns. I got to go back and watch it, but the one to Debo, that was it, because
Yeah.
Debo was wide open, and
Chris
he should
Jones
have
has
had that one.
definitely been their defensive MVP all playoffs. And I think he had a really big game against the Ravens, bro. Like Chris
Yeah,
Jones,
he
his
did.
the main disruptor. The reason why that secondary could just clamp down, why they have that half second less, you know what I'm saying, for the quarterback to throw the ball. And then the thing is, too, is at the beginning of the game, right, when Kyle Shanahan was dialed in and that offense was dialed in before the C-Mac fumble, where was Chris Jones? Chris Jones was up the field. Like, he was outrunning the play. But as the game slowed up, he was right where he needed to be every single time. And then that's why they had to pay him 2 years ago. That's why you pay that.
Well, no,
man.
he was begging for his money this off season. So I don't know. He may not be with the team this upcoming year, but
They got to bring him back.
to me, he won 3 Super Bowls. He proven what he needs to do in Kansas City. Right now, he about to get that check because it's the last probably big check he gonna get.
True, but who gonna pay him?
Shit, somebody in the division, somebody who wants somebody. But no, my thing is, yeah. Once again, bro, Pat Mahomes, bro. I can't. That's the thing is what they do this offseason will be so key because I know they're gonna have to get some big time player. They may get Stephon Diggs, they may get T Higgins, they may get somebody, but I don't know how anybody can beat that team right now.
You say that, Nick, but it's quite as kept. They've already proved how arrogant they are, and they were able to still win it. They should do what you're saying they should do, but they not proven that they ain't got
but my thing is like it's hard to make that argument that I'm trying to make when they won 2 Super Bowls with pizza head niggas, like, you know what I'm saying, like it's like these goofballs out here that they still was dropping balls in the Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying, like I don't think they got any really separation for real unless it was just on the in the middle with Travis and Rice. It was like but they won. So I mean, they shut me up because it's like, to me, it's like when I see a talent like Patrick Mahomes, you would think you want to give him somebody.
Yeah, they should. And like I said, you're right. They should want to, but
because Travis is on the way out, bro. I'm sorry, he is on the way out. He's about a season or two at max of being on the way out.
Now Travis is gonna be there as long as Patty there.
Yeah, I agree. Or until his body just completely fails him.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, Nick. And we all played sports. The older you get, physically you can't do some of the things, but this is still sharp. And that's how Travis is beating cats. He still got some legs because he still be out running linebackers. You know what I'm saying? You saw him run away from Fred Warner a couple times. You seen him run away from Dre Greenlaw a couple times. And depending on the safety, he could put some moves on those guys too. I don't disagree with you, Nick. I do think it's 2 years, 3 years max. But he knows what he needs to do, and he's such a distraction for that defense. You talked about earlier, how do you game plan for him? The only thing you can do is double team him all game. But the reason why you can't do that is because Pat Mahomes is going to pick you apart everywhere else, and that's why he still is going to be valuable for this offense, even if he is a diminished product. I do agree with you. I've agreed with you all season. At the beginning, I was like, bro, I don't know if they can make it because it looked bad. We saw Kadarius Toney. He's been inactive since the playoffs started. And that was the splash move that they made a couple seasons ago.
Sky Moore didn't see no field. I don't see it.
Sky Moore didn't see no field. McCall Hardman started as a Jet, brought him back. You know what I'm saying? And he saw a lot of play calls toward him in the red zone. He had the game-winning touchdown. So at the end of the day, Shelton, I agree with you too, that they have shown how arrogant that they are or that they're going to be. But at the end of the day, are they going to go get that guy? whether it be through the draft or a big name, I don't know.
My thing is like they haven't paid. They've been stingy on paying anybody. They let Tyreek walk. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, who the hell are you paying? Like, why is Pat? Why is Pat having to move his money around to make the salary cap work? If Travis is on his he's getting underpaid. He already came out and said that. Chris Jones is literally fighting on a 1-year deal. Like, he ain't the best defensive player y'all had probably damn near in franchise history at this point. And it's just like, all right, well then if y'all not bringing in drafting anybody, I don't know who Rasheed Rice. Rasheed Rice to me is possession receiver. He's not like the
He's not a
five
number
star.
one.
He's not a number one. He's not the 5-star general. So it's like if Burrow healthy again, boy, sure, this gonna be it's gonna be a rude
But
awakening
Nick,
with my boy.
here's the thing though. Let me break this down. When the greatest quarterback we're witnessing, in my opinion, now, right? Pat Mahomes. But the other greatest quarterback is Tom Brady. Tom Brady won the majority of his championships with a slot receiver and a tight end. Rasheed Rice is definitely a slot receiver. He could run all of those little short routes. He could get in between and run the seams and all of that type of stuff, right? He could run the wide receiver screens. He could do all of that type of stuff, right? The end arounds. He could do all of that type of stuff. Obviously, they have a tight end. If you look at the comparison, it's like, well, damn. If we got a good defense and we can possess the ball and then give it to our GOAT quarterback to win us the game, that's a recipe for championship.
I'm just saying, like, that division already got harder with Jim Harbaugh getting there, and he got Justin Herbert. So I'm just I'm letting you know right now, Jim Harbaugh gonna make a difference in that damn division. And they gonna be asking for a nigga for number one when they face that Chargers defense in the next 2 to 3 seasons. I'm gonna tell you that right now, cause Harbaugh saying he gonna win 2 or 3 of them. Sheldon, he said he gonna win
We
2
got
or
a super
3.
chat, bro. Nate the Great, do y'all consider the Chiefs a dynasty and is Mahomes the second best QB? Well, let me rephrase that last part.
Yeah,
Mahomes the best QB ever, and Tom second.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Chiefs are a dynasty.
Chiefs are definitely a dynasty.
Absolutely.
They're definitely. They won 3 Super Bowls in what, 5 years?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean,
And back to back.
Since 2019, that was their first Super Bowl, the 2019-2020 season.
Yep. And they did it back to back, and that's the first time in 20 years since that's happened. So there's definitely a dynasty. And the thing is we don't know where the end is, because definitely next year they should be the favorite.
They have to be. If they're not the favorite next year, then the Vegas is drunk.
Gotta be the favorite.
Because they were underdogs this whole playoffs. I think all playoffs except for the Miami game.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, outside of this 49ers Super Bowl, it was just kind of like it wasn't really even that close. And even then, they were fumbling at the goal. Like, they were fumbling in the red zone. We don't know. Those are points that's taken off the board for both in the Buffalo game, and then in the Super Bowl. It's like we don't know how the game could have turned out. They could have won by double digits.
yeah, nah, yeah, it's yeah. Anyway, those are our initial thoughts that we had to the game. It was great. The results were what I wanted, so I'm happy because he's the closest one that can get to Brady, bro. I needed.
He the only one that acknowledged. We don't acknowledge Bill Russell as a top 5 player at all in NBA. So he's the most accomplished. We gonna slot. I'll say Tom Brady's the most accomplished football player in the NFL history. That's it. He ain't the best.
You know where I stand.
He ain't the best quarterback I say. I ain't never seen Tom Brady do the shit that Patty just did in this one Super Bowl alone.
Yeah, you know where I stand, but we need, for some of these people we need the rings. Bro.
This nigga is 9-2 when he's down 7 points going into the fourth quarter of Super Bowls or playoff games, some type shit like that. It's like, come on, bro.
Dang.
He's the GOAT. What are we talking about?
But part of GOAT status though, Nick, and you know how I feel about Pat Mahomes, bro. I'm pro Patty. I was one of the first to be like, hey, this dude is that guy. But part of being the GOAT, not a GOAT, is longevity. It's definitely longevity. I don't see why he won't have the longevity. The way he plays the game, he's very judicious when he puts his body in harm's way. Obviously, he has the IQ, and now he's done settled into playing the position. He can read the field. I think he's definitely going to be the GOAT. he's definitely a GOAT right now. I just need to see the longevity. But it's not that he has to prove it to me.
Sound
Hey,
like it.
you
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
to
He don't
me,
have to
to me,
prove it,
to me,
but
even if he retired tomorrow, he's the goat.
if he retired tomorrow, I think there's a conversation. I don't think that he squashed Tom Brady. But I think as long as he continues, Tom Brady's gonna be in the rear view, bro. He's gonna be in the rear view.
Especially, I'm not gonna wood, God forbid, because I want the Bengals to win next year. But if he wins again
Hey,
next year, he the goat. He the goat. He did a three-peat. Ain't nobody ever done a three-peat.
Well, I tell you who's not to go. Kyle Shanahan is not blowing
Thank
another
you,
double-digit lead.
thank you. Kyle Shanahan is
Blowing
now
another
he
lead,
he is
bro.
he is now a
he
player.
better than Doc Rivers though.
He play he Kyle
He
Shannon.
better than Doc.
I don't
I'll take
know.
him over
I
Doc.
don't know, man.
I don't know, bro. That's three Super Bowl leads. That's three if we count him as a coordinator. There's three Super Bowl leads he lost, but he's
One of
definitely a
them was
tier.
to Patty.
He's
One
a
of them was to Tom Brady. I was just saying, the two people we're talking the go-to quarterback in ever,
and all
and
three
he
of them
lost to them.
and all three of
So
them he
I
was
feel
up
that.
double digits in the second half,
Hey, look,
or
look,
at
look.
least in the game.
The only one that was egregious, in my opinion, was the Atlanta Falcon as a coordinator. The one against the Chiefs 4 years ago, I get it.
Wasn't he up by
Jimmy,
10 in the fourth quarter?
Yep.
bro, there was a throwaway. That one Jimmy G throw
And
downfield.
now and Ken, what did we talk about in this game? Didn't you just say Purdy was a throwaway for against Debo?
And I think at least the difference FIFO with Jimmy G's throw is that he didn't have anybody hit him when he throw it. Purdy
Yeah,
had
he was
somebody
open.
Chris is so I think he probably got hit or was damn near close to getting hit and they threw off the throw. Jimmy G, I think if I remember correctly, he could have made that throw. He just missed it. If
Kyle,
if Chris Jones wasn't in Purdy's face, he probably I'm pretty confident he makes that throw.
Kyle Shanahan is a tier two ass coach.
But you can't blow
Give
two
me, give
Super
me, give
Bowl
me,
leads, bro.
Give me Sean McVay. Give me Mike Tomlin. Give me Jim Harbaugh. Whichever the Harbaugh is who's in the Chargers. That Harbaugh brother.
And and
Give
here's
me
the
Andy
other
Reid.
thing, right? Here's the other thing, FIFO, is that another difference between this team and the Jimmy G team is he really feels and has ran statistically like he has a quarterback that can run the offense that he likes to run. I don't recall him really running an offense like he's running now with Jimmy G like that.
This the
You know,
best.
he really trusts Purdy to do what he does.
This the best the 49ers are gonna look like because now they gotta ask themselves, are we gonna pay Brock Purdy $50+ million to be our quarterback moving forward?
Well, they
If he
still got.
repeats next year, I think if he proves that this year wasn't a fluke and comes back
Oh,
and
he gonna have great
He never
stats next
fails
year.
us.
He gonna have great stats next year,
Yeah,
boy.
they never
You know
fail.
the Kyle Shanahan special is
hey,
a great regular season.
hey, look, only so many people can win. There are a lot of QBs that have great stats, Nick, that don't even get to where Purdy's gotten.
I'm sorry, but they
It
told
just
me
is what it is.
Sheldon,
That's true.
they told me he a top five MVP player in the league. They say he the best.
Hey Nick, I know MVP that didn't get there though. How about
Mm,
that?
Mm.
mm,
So you can kill all that noise. That shit ain't
mm,
be shit now.
all I'm
The
s-
mm,
MVP didn't even make it, bro.
mm,
all I'm saying
mm,
is that Lamar justified his money this season though.
He didn't get to a Super Bowl.
mm.
He got them to the number
He
one
didn't get
seed.
to a Super
It's Super
Bowl.
Bowl or bust for
He
Lamar.
didn't get to a Super Bowl, Nick. He
Uh,
MVP, bro, 2 times. When you gonna
Mm.
I
hold him accountable? Where
my
your energy at, bro?
my level for expectation for Lamar was like get to the championship game and then
Oh,
we can go
Nah.
from there.
you
The
What?
have
the, the
higher
Ravens,
expectations. You have higher expectations for Purdy than Lamar?
yes. Cause Purdy. No, I have. Well, you're right. I
Wait. You
misspoke.
need
I
to repeat
misspoke.
that.
I
Okay,
misspoke. I
please do.
misspoke. I
Because
have
I'm
high.
like,
I have high expectations for Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers than I
okay.
do for Lamar Jackson. Because it was Super Bowl or bust. FIFA Shelton, did we not talk about that early all this season? And I said it's Super Bowl or bust. So now it's bust, and FIFA talking about he giving me all these goofball ass excuses.
No. Look. At the end of the day, I don't disagree with you. It is Super Bowl or bust because, like you said, how much better you can't make the 49ers much better. You know what I'm saying? Like unless there's no salary cap and you go get Jalen Ramsey and go Pro Bowl out the secondary, you can't make this team much better. So it is what it is. They made it to the Super Bowl. They had a good run in the Super Bowl. They fell short. But at the end of the day, we talking about Purdy. You're gonna have to pay Purdy. You're gonna have to make some decisions on some of these high-priced guys. Some of them guys is gonna have to walk. It's not the team is not gonna look the same after 2 years when you have to pay Purdy. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, too, let's not shoot bail to Lamar Jackson, the two-time MVP, because at this point in his career, what else is there? We done seen you elevate. We done seen you mature into a guy that can throw from the pocket, that can still have the legs.
Right.
That is here. He's better now. He has a questionable number one. I think Zay Flowers is definitely. I think he's a number one wide receiver. We'll see if the rookie year wasn't a fluke after everybody got tape on him. We'll see if he could live up to that billing. We know that he has a tier one tight end. We know that he has a tier one defense. So what else? Bro, you gotta go win the championship.
So then why don't you have that same energy with Kyle Shanahan?
I said that it was Super Bowl or bust.
No, but I'm just saying you clapping the hands for Lamar. You ain't clapping for shit for Kyle Shanahan.
But you know what my saying is? It's not if you win or lose, it's how you win or lose.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I always say that.
End the stream. End the
stream.
stream.
I'm bringing that up now. You act like I'm bringing that up now.
You're bringing it up.
Look bad. Was bad, bro.
Didn't
and
look
with
bad.
double-digit leads.
It didn't look.
It didn't look bad, but it is bad.
I'm not saying it wasn't bad, but it didn't look bad.
The first one was worse than this, though.
You didn't get blown out the water with a roster like this. You was in the game against the greatest quarterback that we're all saying here that ever played this damn game. You was in the game with the quarterback that was picked dead last 2 years ago.
That's irrelevant now because he was an MVP candidate. So he's already proven that he's not a Mr. Irrelevant. That was the whole point of me saying what I said in the last time we talked.
But the fact of the matter is, was he picked dead last in the NFL draft? Yes or no?
So was Brady. Do we use that?
Exactly, and he was the greatest. But he had to prove that. Purdy, he got to the Super Bowl.
I'm saying eventually that's just a nice story that we like to tell when you at your Hall of Fame speech. That don't mean shit when you're in two. That don't mean shit when you make it to two NFC title games and you made it to a Super Bowl and you were top 5 in MVP.
One of the NFC titles games, his elbow and shoulder was all the way thrown.
I said he made it. He took them there. He took them the back to back. So like he took them there the year before that. He got hurt. Yeah, but he still took him there, and he took him there again this year when y'all was talking about he had those 2 comeback drives, and now he's here. He's arrived. My thing is this is why I don't really care about Brock Purdy because Brock Purdy played the game that he was supposed to play. He didn't make any mistakes, and he didn't lose them the game, but he didn't win them the game clearly. So my thing again is on Kyle Shanahan. How many years are we gonna go through this contest, this question where it's like, oh, they Super Bowl ready right now? Brock Purdy gonna leave. It's like, bro, we do this all the fucking time.
Look, at the end of the day, you give him praise now, but you did it in the past was Andy Reid. Andy Reid was in a very similar situation where he was dominating the NFC East, he was dominating the NFC, made it to a whole bunch of NFC title games, couldn't get to the Super Bowl, didn't even get to the Super Bowl. Kyle Shanahan is getting to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Whether he wins or not right now, I feel you. You want to rip him a new one, that's on you, Nick. But at the end of the day, don't disrespect the man and call him a tier 2 coach because he didn't win against the greatest quarterback of all time.
Okay, so you're making excuses. I'm sorry, Ken. That is excuses.
That's not excuses.
Either way,
because Eli played Brady twice, and we see how that is. He ain't make no damn excuses talking about some shit. I lost to Brady. What y'all expect? Nah, fuck all that shit. If you gonna win, if you in the game, that means you're good enough to win the game.
Look, and then this is what I was saying last Tuesday too. Shanahan still has 20 plus years of coaching ahead of him, bro.
Come on, all right.
He's gonna outlast.
Can you wrap this up?
He's gonna outlast Mahomes. He's gonna outlast Purdy. We saw again. Look at Andy Reid.
In the second half,
the MVP candidate. He wouldn't win no Super Bowl.
So either he loses his title as a genius that y'all say he is, or we move him down a tier. Something's got to go. Something's got to give.
Because let's be honest, he is one of the most innovative head coaches offensively in the game. Is he not?
Not when it counts.
Either way, like in the fourth quarter, though, FIFO, the 49ers had the lead 3 times, including overtime. They took the lead 3 times. And I mean, this, it was and blew them. So, this was a very, very winnable game
100%.
for them, and they didn't get it done.
But
we got about 3.
But if the offense gets the lead, isn't it up to the defense to?
You just told me that the defense played well.
in the
Well, and I
first
saw a
half.
Niners fan
And,
jump in here and blaming Steve Wilkes, so we'll see how that go.
well, I'm not necessarily blaming Steve Wilkes, but I also said this. It seems like throughout the course of a game, that defense, regardless of the defense, the Bills, the Ravens, the 49ers, it looks like they get worn down and Mahomes takes advantage.
Shelton, if I told you that Steve Wilkes is going to hold Patrick Mahomes to 19 points through the first 4 quarters, through just 4 quarters, not even mention OT, would you say that the 49ers are going to win that game?
They should win that game, 100%. 100% with that offense, they should definitely have won that game if you held them to 19 points.
For
Against
4 quarters.
If you
Wait. With that offense against that Chiefs defense,
yes,
that shut down the MVP.
Thank you.
yes,
Thank you, Ken.
Get the fuck out of here, y'all.
Thank you,
Tripping.
Ken.
They got the offensive player of the year on their squad. They got a top 5 MVP candidate on their squad. They got top 5 players all over their
I've been
offense.
bragging about how dominant this damn Chiefs defense was all year.
I ain't bragging about shit.
But Shelton was, I
yeah,
think.
we're dominant.
I ain't say nothing about this Chiefs defense.
But the
I
Chiefs
was
defense was the top 3 defense in the league, bro.
okay. So
All
yeah,
year. All year.
and they proved that in the playoffs. However, the 49ers defense was always talked about all year.
And we talked about the offensive 49ers and the playmakers that they have.
Exactly. What are we talking about?
You got playmakers all over that side of the ball. You tell them you can't score 3 touchdowns?
They do.
2. I'm asking for 2.
But at the same time,
They scored 2
at the same
touchdowns.
time, they were playing against a top 3 defense.
The 49ers only scored 1 touchdown.
No,
No, they scored 2.
Who's the second one?
Nick.
Oh, Jennings scored. Yeah, Jennings scored.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jennings was the best quarterback on the field.
Wow. Hey man, I'm out with that.
Jennings was, bro. His passer rating was better than Purdy.
Not with that throw he threw. That shit was awful. He got lucky that shit didn't get picked.
And he did get lucky. He got
Yeah. Just a couple real quick super chats. Brady ran the GOAT standard the fuck up, man. 23 seasons and 7 rings. Mahomes know he still has a lot to accomplish, but if anybody can, he got it. That was from JJ Godtrill 92. Mahomes got to win 7 if Braun got to win 6. Patty got to win 6 for me. We can hate Brady all day, but what Tom Brady did is legendary, 7 titles.
So then, I'm sorry. I'm about to say
Purdy, P shooter Purdy. Last one.
he said Braun had to win 6. He didn't say Braun had to win 11, right? Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
But that's not the standard though.
The standard isn't championships?
The standard was Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Hey, people.
Wait, hold on. Nick, who the hell comes out of here? Who talks about Bill Russell as the standard?
And that's the sad thing. That's the sad thing.
What do you mean that's the sad thing?
Because Bill Russell was a game changer. He's a legend. He's an icon.
Bill Russell won 11 championships and nobody's taking nothing away from him because
You about to take something away from him right now.
The man played against 4 other teams, bro. It was like 6 teams in the whole NBA.
Was it not called the NBA FIFO? Is that was he not a pioneer?
There's 30 teams and way better players now.
The
same reason why Will Chamberlain is not the standard. The same reason why Bob Cousy is not all them old niggas, bro, is not a standard. Because the level of competition was not there.
So you're saying history don't matter?
What I'm saying is do it against the best competition, and they didn't play against the best.
They went against the best competition that their generation had, bro.
Hey, Vivo, you know something else? This back to football for a second.
Mm-hmm.
You said Rashee Rice was not. You don't think Rashee Rice can be a number 1 receiver?
I think he could develop his game to be, but what he is right now, I wouldn't say he's the number 1. He was a number 1 for them, but like I said with Tom Brady and those Patriots, they won with a slot receiver and a dominant tight end, and I think he's a really, 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 really good slot receiver. Could he be number 1? He's a rookie. He could develop the route tree. He could get better.
Y'all do. He had better stats than Zay Flowers, which I didn't know that till just now. I looked it up. I couldn't believe that.
So what was he better in?
He had more catches, he had more yards, and more touchdowns.
I could see that.
I would have thought Zay Flowers was better this year.
Zay Flowers is more dynamic, in my opinion.
Zay Flowers is number 1 if he was with the Chiefs.
Yeah, because Zay Flowers plays on the outside. The catches don't really surprise me because he's catching a lot. I guarantee you, if we look at and these would be advanced stats, but if we looked at what's his catch average? I'm pretty sure Zay Flowers is a lot more than Rashee.
I have to look back and see that part.
Hey Nick,
Rasheed Rice had higher yards per reception too.
And he had a lot of
Really.
yaks. He was
But
he was
but yeah, that's probably because of
yak
the gap.
catches and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Who's the GOAT? Russell or Jordan, Nick?
Michael Jordan's the GOAT, but that proves the point is that you don't need to catch somebody in rings to prove that you're the GOAT. You just need to prove that we've never seen anything like you and
No,
you're in dominant fashion.
no. What it is that it's not always based on championships, Nick, but it's whoever is the standard in your perspective sport. Jordan is the standard. So if you want to be better than Jordan, this is not necessarily my argument, but I understand when people say you got to win more than Jordan.
But
I get it.
it's only based off of rings because stat wise, Patty's already beaten him, or he's even at this pace right now, he's gonna destroy
Okay,
Brady's stats.
look. So if we're comparing MJ and LeBron to Patty and Tom Brady, LeBron has passed MJ in every statistical category, right? Even though he hasn't caught him in rings. So I could make an argument for LeBron being the GOAT, right? And that's not the conversation here. But when we look at Tom Brady and Pat Mahomes, it's like, yeah, he's on pace to eclipse him, but he's nowhere near the passing yards for a career. He's nowhere near the passing touchdowns for a career. So he hasn't passed Tom Brady in career stats yet.
He's already at 30,000 passing yards, and he's not even 30 yet.
I understand
So
that.
so my thing is this
He's
right
on
now.
pace,
You talked
but he
about
ain't passing.
being the standard for the position. What QB in NFL history right now is more of a standard of the position right now than Patrick Mahomes? I'm
I
sorry.
understand for this
That's
era,
me.
but we're
I'm talking about all time. I'm talking about all time.
Tom Brady.
Give me Pat
Tom Brady's
Mahomes.
the standard.
Give me Pat Mahomes all time.
Look,
No matter what game
I'm
it is.
with you, Nick. I'm taking Pat Mahomes too because I ain't never seen nobody do what he does. So I'm with you. But at the end of the day, I can make an argument to say he has not surpassed Tom Brady's standard yet.
Fuck out of here.
He hasn't.
On Black History Month, you gonna say that? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I'm picking my homeboy. I'm picking my homeboy.
Okay. All right. Well, there'll be a lot more Tuesday. We got to hear from Spike as well. People appreciate you jumping on, bro.
Yeah, man, I had to
That was
jump on, man.
unexpected.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, but yeah, nah, we definitely a lot more to unpack. We got to see the interviews. We got to, I got to go back and rewatch the game. We know there was the key moments now, but there'll be some other ones that we could probably identify. Outside of the muff punt and the missed extra point, bro. That dude that missed the extra point, bro, shit. He better be lucky. Oh, that's Moody. He's a rookie. Damn, that was terrible, bro. He cost them the Super Bowl. Anyway, we'll catch you guys then. We out. Peace.
Peace.